piece of 100 by 50. So let's go back to this view here and let me explain the next step. So the next thing I would do is I would move this well away from any other work up here, and I would go into my window. I'd copy this. Oh, what do we got here? Button. Bang. Okay. Let's go into here. And let's go inside the viewport. And let me explain how this works. Okay. So, even although in model space, it looks like that, in layout space, it looks like that. So we need to go inside. Now this is how students become, they're doing all this in a hurry. They've maybe tried to copy someone's 3D or something and it's all turned custom to them because they don't know how to paste a 3D drawing into a normal drawing. It looks really weird. They go into layout. This is what happens. That is not an acceptable drawing. I cannot mark that because it's not the way I want it. They don't know how to make it the way that I want it. But it's actually not that hard to do this part. First of all, I can go inside the viewport, and guess what? My old buddy inside the viewport, view, 3D views, southwest, bang. Now when I zoom in on it, it's at an angle that I want it, right? Now if I go view, visual styles, realistic, I better watch it because it could crash.
Save it, Roger.
Yes, save it. That's right. Somebody's rescued me twice now.
Half a mark.
You should have a little jar like this in front of your desk. Charity. Yeah. For begging. View. Visual styles. Realistic. There we are. It's done it. So now it equals everything that was in the other view. So to do that, you go inside, you go view, and you can also use your shift key and move it around. So if you're not happy with that, you can go like that. Okay? Now, going back to here, students say to me, well, what do I have to do to get my 5 marks? Because everybody wants 100% these days, nobody's happy with 60%. To get your 60%, all you need to do is put a handrail on top of that, and I'll give you 3 marks out of 5. But you do also need to present it in a viewport properly, right? With a title block. In the viewport, I want you to zoom to max for, in other words, this will not get you marks. I want to see the whole thing. I don't want to see anything else in there. I want to see the whole as much as you can zoom it. It doesn't have to be to scale. I don't care. Put not to scale on the title block. That gives you your 3 marks. So what can you do to get more marks? Well, it's actually in the assignment. There's a big choice of things. I want you to do about 3 or 4 things to get more marks. In fact, if you do more, I'm happy to give you a bonus. Not a bonus 1 mark, a bonus half a mark. So in assignment 4, there's well, actually, I might just extend that to 1 mark yet, I'm not sure. If I see something really, really impressive and someone's been working all holidays on it, maybe 1 mark. All right? There's a chance for anyone that needs a catch-up mark. But you're going to have to do some pretty impressive work. For example, what about the civil basketball court, trees, and the bank up there? I'll show you how you can draw the land. This is how you can draw land. It's a thing called 3D face. If you type 3D face, now warning, the computer may actually crash. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. See that? It like makes. I'll do another one from 1, 2, 3. So it looks like a really, really gay PlayStation drawing. You know? So that's what my son would call it anyway, not me. So I'm building up I'm doing some ground profiles here, right? Which are so the command for that, and I'll put it up on the board over here, is 3D face. Now I don't want you just to randomly sketch it, that's not earning yourself more. I want you to work out the contours and put them up from the bridge where they would be. But that's not too hard, you can draw 3D faces between the contours, as long as you lift them to the right heights. You can do the same thing with a 3D face down here, or the bridge that comes down on an angle down here. You can do a 3D face on that one as well. One thing I should have pointed out to you, these piles go 2.5 metres into the ground, I think it is. So you need to add that on top of the distance down to the ground. That's why it's best to draw that up first. Bolts and nuts, washers, the Dynabolt, there are other ways as well too. Oh, the welds on the angles for the plates as well. So have a look in there and see if you can think of ways to try and maximise your mark. But I'm definitely happy to give away 60% for free for copying what I've done. Alright? You do need to, of course, produce a viewport with it properly laid in there with a proper title block, and you do need to put them onto proper layers. Are there any questions on that? This here, I got that by right-clicking on a blank spot, AutoCAD, and clicking on the 3D modeling. Does it look like something that could be fun, or just another damn thing you have to do with Unitech, probably? Okay, answered that for you. I do, there is a way of me checking to see if you've done the decking right, because there should be a very small step up to the concrete over here.
Do you know what height the abutment and stuff?
The what?
Do you know what height anything is, like above ground?
Yeah, so the ground line comes down on an angle here at 2 to 1. Oh, what height the bridge is?
Yeah.
Have a look at the location of the bridge where you've sketched it on your plans, and work out what the height roughly is of the ground there, and that's the starting point. Okay? So if that's a very good question actually. Before your head gets so big that you can't get out the door, I'll explain exactly why that's a good question. Because if you're going to do the ground profile, you have to start somewhere. Your ground sort of goes like that, I think. Is that right? And you've got a bridge going across like that, and then you've got your basketball court sort of like that. Okay? So you've got a contour. I'm not sure quite how the contours go. They sort of go like that, perhaps. Okay, so whatever that contour is there, there's a little bit of a rise up to your bridge, up to your basketball court. So I would assume you're going to do a little path up there. About from the bridge level there should be the same as the level on whatever contour is running through there, just halfway between. So that'll give you a level there. I'm not sure if I've given you contours over there, but assume that it's level across, right? So when you've got your bridge here, you've got a point here now and a point there. the abutment comes down like that. That point on the bridge is actually up here, right? It's up at, well, abutment level, the top of the abutment almost. But from here you've got a 2-to-1 slope, 1 to 2, to meet in a point there. So that's how you draw your ground level down below. There'll be some water in here as well, I guess, random. And the basketball court will be sort of probably about up here, like that. So there'll be a bit of a path up to it. So yeah, if you wanted to kind of, I've got a wee bit of flexibility, roughly estimating how it goes up.
Yeah.
But I don't want someone sort of just doing what I did there and randomly just drawing lines to try and represent it. If you want to give anything a height, you can grab all of your bridge and move it from 0, 0, 0 to, and ask for the next point, and the next point will be 0, 0, and whatever the height is, because the last number is the z value.
Yeah.
So that's how you move your bridge up, which is, once you've got that height, you can then draw, you can move all your contours up as well.
Yeah.
And then you have it perfectly in position. Sorry, I'm probably talking gobbledygook to most of you. What else was I going to show this class? I think I'm just about ready to walk around and have a look at any assignment questions. I did do a bolt last year, and the way how I did the bolt was, I think I did a P-liner across it, something like this. And then I clicked on it and we extrude, and that became the head of my bolt. Oops, I've lost my bolt. I'm not sure where that went, but that was how I drew a bolt. It's a wee bit out of proportion at the moment, but if you in plan view do a hexagon and then just extrude it up, and if you wanted to do the actual thread of the bolt, you just grab that and go extrude, and you can make your own bolt up here in AutoCAD without crashing the whole thing. So you can move that into position as well. And if you wanted to combine the two to make them one bolt, it's rather weird doing this. If you wanted to combine these into one object, you can use a thing over here called Union, which is this one. And it says you select the same objects to combine them. So we click on here, we click all these and go enter, and now I've got, it's all one thing, so I can move it around as one big bolt. Okay, so you do need to kind of draw the bolt up to the right sizes, etc. I'll leave it to you. Don't do what a Russian student did to me about 3 years ago and put a Russian jet on the runway of the bridge. Doesn't give you any more marks. In fact, I think that student might have been the same year as you. He put the plane inside a building. So he covered the building up with cladding. No one else did that. I took the cladding off, and here's this mink jet sitting in there, ready to take off. I laughed, it was very funny, but he lost some marks for doing that because Unitec doesn't own one of those. The other one who, Yeah, it's pretty sad, eh? And the other one was the student put a monkey on the side of the building as well. 3D monkey, I've got no idea where they got it from. He can go back to where he started from. Could have been India, who knows? Yeah, I don't know who would actually spend all that time on AutoCAD drawing a monkey.
An extra mark for that?
No, I laughed. And then I took half the mark off as well. So if it's anything to do with the site and it's something a little bit different, I'm happy to accept that as being a bonus.
So wait, if we were to put people on the bridge, would that be okay?
Yeah, but you probably won't get people's alright. Yeah, naked people no. That's going too far. I don't even know what site you can get them on. Not that I've been looking. So yeah, don't spend too much time. You guys have got exams coming up. You really do need to spend most of your time on that. But as far as that goes, you can trash that out in the holidays pretty quickly, which will put 3 marks in the bank. And if you enjoy it enough, you can carry on from there and do it. I noticed how I worked out all my distances first. If you've got a movie file today, you'll have those. But that's quite a good thing to work out first before you start putting all the other stuff around there, you know, because then you know exactly where to put it. Right, so I will be here on and off in the holidays, but this room is occasionally booked out because it's such a big room, if they have a large group doing computer stuff. But generally speaking, you should be able to get in here. No, it's not. Someone's ripped off the security thing. Someone's stolen the security number. If you haven't got it in your cell phone, if you ring 815-4321, extension 8116, is it? I think one of the options is security. There's an option there. You'll go through to security and you can say to them, look, I'm coming into Unitec, there's a group of us coming in to muck around in here, is this room open? Because sometimes in the holiday break they have they close it, Unitec off for different reasons. I think there's a big marathon run or something that comes through here on one day. I tried to come in once and it was really awful. Sometimes they do maintenance work while the students aren't around, like build bridges and basketball courts and things like that. So yeah, just bring up first. And I am available for answering questions through the holidays, so you can still do that as well. All right? You came over to me and you had a question. I thought you had something. Okay, that's right. Do you have anything? No? Okay, I'm not here. Yeah, I'm going to walk around. These two guys have said no, they've rejected me. So I'm on to the next lane and I'll work my way to the talkers at the back of the class. Last. So I'm just coming down here and then I'll go to